Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at multiplying a monomial times a polynomial. So as you see, what will happen is you'll have a term in front and then you'll have some terms on the inside that needs to be multiplied. So we're going to do distributive property, which you've seen before. The only difference now is we're going to have to apply our exponent rules. So I'm going to do 3x squared times 6x to the third. So if you remember from our exponents units, we multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. So we have 3 times 6, which is 18. And then for my exponents, I'm going to have x to the fifth because I did 2 plus 3. Okay, then I go on to the next term. I have 3x squared times negative 3x squared. That's going to give me negative 9. That's my coefficient. And then I have 2 plus 2. That'll give me 4 for my exponent. Then next, I have 3x squared times 2x. That's going to be 6x to the third. The reason why it's 3 is because I have an imaginary 1 here, and I'm looking at 2 plus 1. Then I have 3x squared times negative 7. That's going to be negative 21, and I still keep the x squared because that was on the outside. And that's it. So when I'm looking at my steps, this is just recalling the steps that we did with exponents. So we're going to multiply the coefficients. Then we're going to add the exponents. And if you have like terms, you're going to combine them. Okay, so do this if you can. Pause the video, try this one on your own, and then press play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, so let's look at negative 2x times 4x squared. So again, I'm looking at negative 2 times 4, negative 8. Then remember, so imaginary 1 here, so I'm going to have x to the third. Okay. Then I have negative 2x times 5x. That'll give me negative 10x squared. I did negative 2 times 5. Got that negative 10, and I had 1 plus 1 because it's the 1 on both of those. Then I have negative 2x times negative 12. And that's going to give me positive 24x. All right. Now this next one, you have multiple variables, but it's still the same concept. Multiplying my coefficients and adding my exponents. So I have 5a squared b times 2a squared b to the third. So I have 5 times 2. That's going to give me 10. Now remember, I add the exponents with the same variable or the same base. So this is going to be a to the fourth. Then I'm going to have b to the first power times b to the third power. And that's going to give me b to the fourth power. Okay, then I do the same thing with the next part. So I have 5 times 1 because it is a 1 in front. So I have plus 5. Then for my a, I'm going to have 1 power here. So I'm going to have a to the third power. And then for my b, we have a 2 here. So I'm going to have b to the third power. Okay, so keep those variables. Make sure you add those together, the exponents. Okay, then I have 5a squared b times negative 7b. That's going to give me negative 35. I want to keep my a squared. Even though it's not 1 over here, I want to keep it because it was 1 on the outside. Okay, then I have a b on the outside and a b on the inside. So I'm going to have b to the second power. And that's my answer. All right, now these last two, you're going to have some where they combine, where they have addition and multiplication and subtraction all in the same problem. So let's look at part C. So this 4x here will only be applied to what's to the right of the parentheses. So that's only the 7x squared and the 3x. So I have 4x times 7x squared. That'll give me 28x to the third. Okay. Then we have 4x times 3x. That's going to be positive 12x squared. Okay, so that's the first part. So now I'm going to look at this 9x squared, and I'm going to multiply that times the 2x and the negative 4. So I have 2x squared times 2x. That'll give me positive 18x to the third. Notice I'm keeping my sign. So when that number is positive, I'm actually writing those plus signs so that I don't forget what they are. So make sure you are writing a sign in between each term. Then I have 9x squared times negative 4. That's negative 36x squared. All right. So then from here, we have like terms. So we're not quite done yet. Okay, so I'm going to put 28x to the third plus 18x to the third. That's going to give me 46x to the third. So remember, when I add, I do not change the exponents. We're just combining like terms. The only time you will add the exponents and change them is when you're multiplying. Okay, then I have 12x squared minus 36x squared. That's going to be negative 24x squared. And that's my answer. All right, last one. Okay, so we have negative 8c on the outside. So I'm going to multiply negative 8c times 4c squared. That's going to be negative 32c to the third. Then I'm going to have negative 8c times negative 5c. That's going to be positive 40c squared, because it's a 1 here and the 1 here. Then I have the negative 8c times 6. That's going to be negative 48c. Then here I have minus 3. So when I do my distributive property here, I'm going to have to make sure I'm doing everything times negative 3. Okay. So I'm going to have negative 3 times negative 3c squared. That's going to be positive 9c squared. I have negative 3 times c. That's going to be negative 3c. I have negative 3 times negative 9. That's going to be positive 27. All right. So from here, we have some like terms. So I want to start off with my greatest exponent. That is putting it in standard form, where you put the highest exponent first all the way down to the lowest exponent. So I'm going to start off with 32, negative 32c. So I have negative 32c to the third. Then I have positive 40c squared and positive 9c squared. That's going to give me positive 49c squared. Remember, we do not change those exponents. Okay, then I have negative 48c and negative 3c. That's going to give me negative 51c. Then here I have the 27 by itself, so that's going to be plus 27. And that's my answer.